Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Jerry Caprio from the Economics Department. I'm also chair of the Center for Development Economics that's sponsoring this conference on the future of the World Bank and the IMF. Both the bank and the fund were created in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire in 1944, nearby here, and they've evolved with the different challenges that have emerged to confront the world, from the reconstruction of Europe to the recycling of oil dollars, or so-called petrodollars, changing exchange rate systems, and a revolution in financial markets, among other challenges. Now, just a few weeks before the annual meetings of the bank and the fund, it's timely to reconsider their missions. The bank, under a new president, is facing new challenges, including a number of issues such as global warming, climate change, financial crises, that do not recognize national boundaries, even though much of the World Bank's work is divided along national lines. The bank also continues to face many old threats, still significant numbers of humanity living in poverty, corruption in an institutional environment that favors the rich and impedes change, ignorance, war, crime, violence. I could go on. The International Monetary Fund also has its issues. When I joined the IMF in 1976, it was searching for a role in the wake of the demise of the Bretton Woods system and the surge in oil prices. And periodically, it's been seeking new tasks, most notably in the period of financial stability after the East Asian crisis in the late 90s. Indeed, following about 10 years of relative peace in financial markets, except for a few minor events like Argentina in 2001, there was a certain amount of relief on the side of 19th Street that the International Monetary Fund occupies when the financial crisis hit in 2008, except for the fact that the IMF, along with a significant part of the economics profession, largely missed seeing the crisis until it was too late. What the fund's role should be in anticipating, immunizing against, and dealing with crises has been very much in play as the euro crisis developed several years ago, and the secondary role for the fund in that crisis has only heightened at least some interest in the relevance of the issue of what is the fund's job. The subtitle of this conference refers to the redesign of the bank and the fund for a new and an old world, and we're going to hear throughout this conference both sets of challenges, notably tonight from Jim Robinson on the constraints imposed by the institutional environment that countries face from his great book, Why Nations Fail. Although that book is of a special interest to those of us who are concerned with economic development, even those, say, merely concerned with the next U.S. election and U.S. politics should read the book, as it makes clear that success is not a one-way street. And for those who are puzzled by that comment, you can come tonight and ask Jim questions about it. This afternoon's session will discuss what kind of World Bank the world needs in the 21st century. In order not to steal time from the speakers that you came to hear, and also to set a good example for my fellow chairs of different sessions tomorrow, I'm going to reluctantly keep my introductions very brief, much shorter than the outstanding reputations of these speakers and their accomplishments warrant. But I refer you to the long forms of the program that are available, and also the Center for Development Economics website that has the bio material on our speakers. This afternoon, we're first going to hear from Ishrat Hussain, a former governor of the State Bank of Pakistan, current dean of the prestigious Institute of Business Administration in Karachi, and a member of the Williams CDE class of 1972. He's going to speak first about, among other things, how the changing environment is altering what we can and should expect from the World Bank. Next, Robert Wade, a professor of political economy at the London School of Economics, a well-known author and also known as a sometime critic of the bank and the fund, and also, I got to add, a great classical guitarist, is going to follow on the challenge of changing the governance of the World Bank and the IMF. And then Nancy Birdsall, president of the Center for Global Development, a former official at the World Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank. And I'm happy to say this semester a visiting professor at Williams is going to speak on how the bank needs a mandate to do its work on global public goods and in other areas. So with that, Ishrat.
Yeah.